Welcome to the tutorial for mission number 19, Moonlighting. We're gonna start with this clip found out by Beater. So you aim at this edge of the wall, basically on the position I'm doing right now, or on the edge of the square you can see in the bottom half there. Do not do something in the center. Then after you did the side roll, just jump. Use the jumping key without any direction and you glitch through the wall. If you pretty much jump down, then your positioning of the aim, pretty much the orientation of your clip, wasn't correct, so you have to redo that. But yeah, now we're at the most hyped part in the entire run, the so-called train part. So we follow Paulie, or basically run next to him, to the train station. We enter the train and get ready for a 4-minute train ride. When you enter the train, do not do some shenanigans and try to block Paulie or anything, because you might even glitch him out a little bit, and then you might be able to start talking with him very late, which causes him to be stuck in the train forever. So don't do that, you will soft lock the game. Just try to play it the most casual way possible. Just get into the train with him, leave him there, and just rejoice when you finally exit the train. Yeah, you might push him from behind, just jump straight towards him. You might be able to move him a bit. Is it going to save a lot of time? Of course not. But you're bored of your mind just by walking, so you might want to do something at least. NPCs might block Paulie, so keep an eye on that. As you can see, it was blocked a bit. But I'm really lucky here to have no NPCs at all waiting at the track. Most likely we'll have like 2 or 3 people here. And now he comes, our main man, Paulie. And there's the train as well. Now just get into the train with him. Do not block him. And there we go. You might want to go for the so-called owl Paulie. That means you hold forward and punch him full force, so with a charged punch. Then you drag him down and get behind him, because then he will still stay in this position, but he has to turn his head 180 degrees towards you, which is kind of hilarious. Yeah, you might want to talk with him right now. Do not talk with him around about Newark, or actually when you get to the island of Newark, and then downtown obviously, because he might be stuck in the train forever, like I said. Definitely play safe here. It's a 4-minute train ride, and if you have to repeat it over and over, it's just time loss. But yeah, we're gonna utilize another clip in this mission. So yeah, with all the clips, I've mentioned it a lot of times already, but I forgot it earlier. You need to have uncapped frame rate. That means 62 plus FPS. If you're still stuck at 60 or lower, none of those clips will work. Not even the first one, and definitely not the one in the bank or the one to Yellow Pete. So we're gonna utilize 3 clips here in this playthrough, or in this tutorial. And all 3 clip setups have been found out by WRP Beater. So yeah, very interesting talk, very interesting train part. Like I said, it's a 4-minute one, so if you need a bathroom break during the run, you have this one for free. Unless the game crashes, which can happen, and then you don't notice it that the game has crashed. So yeah, now we're at the Giuliano Street. So we're getting closer to the bank, but it's still some time to drive. And by the way, you noticed that I was using D and space, or pretty much right and space, or right and jump to be more precise, for the clip in Paulie's apartment. You obviously can also use right or left for the side rolls here in this mission, because we already deactivated the jumping glitch setup in the whore, so no need to worry about that. Okay, we finally arrived at the right island, so only 2 stations are left. That means Newark and downtown. And there we go, we'll approach the last station, or the station we need to exit. It's not the last one of this line. And then, as always, try to push Polly a little bit. And hopefully we'll get quickly into the bank to hear his master plan. Obviously we're dressed as always. No need for disguises or anything. Just the same guys who walk with the same clothes over 10 years. Nobody will recognize us. There we go. Here we see the bank already, but the station is a little bit further. So there we go, downtown. And we will exit. You see, I was already that sleepy that I wanted to stay in the train. It sometimes happens, but you shouldn't be doing that. And keep an eye on Paulie when he's crossing the street later towards the bank, because he might be run over by a car. So that can always happen. And then you would lose 4 minutes yet again. So as I said, you can push him from behind, you know, just run and jump towards him. I didn't do it here. But this will bore you out of your mind. You see? That was pretty close. The garden terraplane nearly smacked him. Ain't too big, ain't too small. Let's take a look inside. So yeah, let's get into the bank. Let's talk with all the guards. Good day, good day. You gotta ask at the counter. Nah, you don't have to do that. Just go to the spot where Polly's going to talk about his master plan, right here. Obviously, there's no better place to talk about such a plan than the bank itself.
Dès qu'ils sont hors circuit, il faut récupérer les clés du coffre. Faudra faire causer les employés, mais je crois qu'avec un calibre sur la tempe, ils nous affranchiront. Dès que t'as les clés, tu franchis la lourde derrière le comptoir. Elle donne sur un couloir. À droite, il y a un escalier qui descend au coffre. Et en haut, ça mène au bureau du directeur. Si on a récupéré les clés, tu files au coffre. Sinon, faudra aller les chercher en haut. En bas, il y aura sans doute d'autres gardiens. Faudra que tu t'en occupes seul, pendant que je surveillerai le rez-de-chaussée. Ensuite, il y aura plus qu'à ouvrir le coffre en bas. Après, ramasse le pognon et remonte ça. C'est tout. Ok. Amène-toi.
Alright, that was it. Now we can just go outside again. And wait for Polly. Hopefully he doesn't get stuck by any NPC. Now you can wait there as well, a little bit more to the left. And he will start talking. And you have to wait for pretty much his entire dialogue before you can trigger the next segment.
Ce qui veut dire qu'on a 5 minutes à partir du moment où on entre pour tout faire et prendre la fille de l'air. Il nous faudra une bagnole. Ce serait pas malin d'en prendre une chère Alfie.
So you have to get a car. And you have 3 choices for a car. You can either take the Leicester V16 that you saw Ralphie unlock in Just for Relaxation, or the ride that he showed you how to unlock in Election Campaign, or the Garden Terraplane. So you have those 3 choices. Obviously the fastest is the Leicester, then the ride, and then the Garden Terraplane. So only pick the Garden Terraplane when you can find absolutely nothing else. And there's a high chance to get a ride.
Sous la voie de chemin de fer, il y a une route. Suis-la et tourne à gauche au carrefour suivant. Tu verras un vieux cinoche qui s'appelle Twister. Près de l'entrée latérale, tu trouveras la boutique de Yellow Pit. Dis-lui que tu viens de ma part et que tu as besoin d'artillerie.
Ok, j'y vais. D'abord le flingue, ensuite la bagnole, et je rapplique chez toi.
Ouais. Arrête-toi devant et klaxonne. Le concierge ferme toujours la lourde. Je descendrai te retrouver.
And now we can go. And he says, "Bon à plus tard." And then we trigger the next segment. In Au clair de lune. Maybe some of you guys know Clair de Lune by Debussy. But there we go, we already see a right. We don't see a Lassiter, unfortunately, but a right. Which is the second best option. There's the Garden Terraplane, but we're not gonna enter in this one. Now we take the left. Use the reverse camera to not have an officer spawn here, since it is very likely to have an officer spawn. And then just smack into him. Now you see a bunch of mechanics. They are always here. So park properly and pay attention to where I'm standing for the next clip. It's gonna be one of those cuts on the sidewalk. And now I'm gonna aim at this third floor, but first of all you need to trigger this segment. So knock the door. And then just aim at this window of the third floor or at the window of the second floor, so one lower, doesn't matter. Then do a side roll and hide your gun. Because that is a cold clip after all. Now we get to Yellow Pete. You can trigger him by a right mouse button and then you can walk away. Doesn't matter, but I'm just standing there. And the setup you want to take is, in my opinion, the pump gun is enough. But you can also pick the Thompson, if you like it, or both. The problem is with both, you cannot hide your guns. So basically you will always have a gun in your hand, and if cops see you, you will trigger them. In this tutorial I'm gonna pick up both, but I'll only use the shotgun. So in my opinion the pump gun is the best thing to choose. Especially for clips, it's easy to use the pump gun. So yeah, we have the pump gun now selected. Go to the door, crouch, do a side roll into the door and reload. And if you get stuck, just retry it. But use the door for the clip. Do not use the wall, because if you get stuck in the wall, there's no way out, potentially. So yeah, now we're driving to Paulie's apartment. So basically where the train ride started. The cop density in this mission is pretty high. So there's a high chance to trigger cops. You don't want to do that, but you can't choose what happens. So using reverse camera is vital. Obviously, if your car is low on fuel, you have to exchange it, because those cars are running out of fuel, not like story cars. By story cars I refer to those cars you get from Ralphie or you pick up from Salieri's bar. And you have quite a few opportunities to exchange your car. When you pick up your first car, you can always say, it's not enough fuel, I'll try again. Then for example, if you pick up Paulie, or even here on the way when you see something, there's a Leicester V16, and I'm just going uphill anyways, you can exchange it because it's gonna be faster downhill. And now I'm pretty much stuck. So driving is always an issue in this game. Pretty much most of the game is just driving if you think about it. Now I triggered the officer, but luckily it was just an officer, not a police car. So I should be able to outrun him. But now you have to pay attention to cops. If you trigger them right now, you are playing with fire. Because you're close to Paulie's apartment. Just take this left and you're pretty much there already. Obviously you can try to make them smack into the lamppost, and with a little bit of luck you're fine. You get to Paulie, you use the horn, you see him put his head out of the window, and then you can exit the car to get into the incognito mode, but still, there we go. Let's check it, and now we just wait for Paulie. There's a chance for Paulie to commit suicide in this mission. It happened to Bagger Master in his Master Race run. So yeah, you always have to be patient with Paulie. There we go, he arrived. He gets in the car. And now we can drive back to the bank. This segment is also pretty notorious for crashes. Like when I did a run in the Shots Fired marathon, the game crashed, I think, after Yellow Pete, or was it here? I believe it was even here, after I picked up Paulie. But yeah, if it happens when you reach the bank, it's 7 minutes gone. Which is unfortunate, but there is no save game here. which would have been a great addition. So yeah, just drive back to the bank. And utilize the reverse camera as often as possible. And here, take the turn to the Giuliano Bridge. And you don't really have to stay in second gear here, since you won't max it out at all. There's no chance to rev up the engine here. We'll always lose some speed. Unless you potentially go a first gear, which won't save time here. But yeah, what you want to do is actually pass the Giuliano Bridge and then drive with the reverse camera engaged to the bank. You can always use the radar for some orientation. Because if you see the crosshair there, then just brake. And you see there's an officer waiting for the perfect spot. Now do a little drift. Just stay close to the sidewalk. Good thing he doesn't see me with a pump gun in my hand. And we're doing the bank heist. You don't need to kill this guard. Just kick this door open. Get the keys. Open up the door and pay attention to the guard I'm shooting right now. He's gonna spawn immediately as you get to a certain point. Now open up this door and kill this guard and stick to the right side of the stairs. Otherwise you won't be able to climb them. It's kind of an issue. Now kill this guard. Be sure to kill him. Now get the other key from the wardrobe of the director. Kill this guard. Reload your shotgun and go downstairs. And here you want to clip through this door on the right side. Sometimes there are guards that might shoot you. So it would be nice to shoot them as well. Otherwise you will go a YOLO strat. And you do the basic pump gun glitch or pump gun clip. You crouch, do a side roll and reload. Obviously all things while crouching. See, crouch, do a side roll, reload, and I failed. So I adjusted it a little bit, crouch, side roll and reload. Now you have to open up this gate and go to pretty much the next line of squares after that black line you just seen. Until you hear someone screaming and then you know you triggered this event. If you just go straight outside, you won't be able to leave this area and therefore you're pretty much stuck in here. So yeah, just threw away a gun in order to not trigger any cops if I spot them. But if you spot them, you will do that because you have a wanted state in this chase segment. So there we go, handcuffs and a wanted state. Just take this shortcut and we go pretty much the Pompeii bar. But now we take a left. Not like this. And there we go, there's the Palermo Club. Through the gate. And if you manage to get in here, you don't have to worry about cops anymore. Still everything is shaded. Your wanted level decreases. And you're fine. One advice though, if you have the handcuff mode engaged, they can still arrest you in this cutscene. It happened to runners. It's always a hilarious thing to watch. But it can happen in your run as well, and then you lose round about 1.5 minutes. So yeah, that's it. That's Moonlighting, one of the longest missions in the game. And we'll see each other in the next tutorial.